Live.
I'd like to call the Rosedale Commerce Park Airport Commission meeting to
Order.
First, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Duker, please lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Mr. Moran is absent. Mr. Rathall, absent, excused. Mann's here. Filarski?
Here.
Hornby?
Here.
Tanova?
Here.
Porcerelli? Any additions or deletions to the agenda? Oh, yeah. I should probably make it a motion to approve and file. Support? You say that? Yeah, support. Support Mr. Tanova and Mr. Filarski. Mike, any additions or deletions?
Nope.
Nope. So that was approval of the minutes from 6/19.
Should I do the overall vote? So the all in favor?
Yep.
Do we do that? Sorry if I missed it.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Apologize.
Filarski and
it.
Tanova. Approval of the minutes of June 19th meeting. Can I get a motion? Support. Okay. Financial report from July 2021. Mike, Mr. Duker.
Thank you, Mr. Mans. Reviewing our budget, our budgeted revenues and expenditures, $978,581. Our year-to-date revenue is $358,050, which makes up roughly 36.5% of our budget. And the expenditure side, we're seeing $272,794 year-to-date, or 27.88%. Our capital reserves as of July 31st, $566,524. Our past due rent summary, $15,776. The fuel inventory was able to pull. We have orders actually in this week for both, so they're pretty low. Our Jet A fuel right now, we're down to $3,200 in value, and the 100 low lead, $10,164 in value. Couple of comments. Everything's tracking really well. You can see obviously the revenues are above expenditures. Some of the capital reserves are building back up a little bit from some of the investments we've done last year. The rent summary has a few more names on it, but the dollar amounts were significantly reduced. We were almost double that last meeting. Lattice made a significant payment, and we almost closed out Sideline. They went from about $8,000 past due down to the $1,500 that's there. So hoping to work that list down a little faster, but making strides in the right direction. So that's all I have.
Any potential issues, or you think?
I think we did file some paperwork with the Lattice tenant, and they made a large bulk payment. So we removed that paperwork, and we'll be tracking it. Other than that, I don't see any issues with the past due amounts.
Anything else on the financials? Do I have to make a motion for that one? Yep. Yeah.
File and receive.
File and receive. Motion?
Motion to file and receive.
All right. We're on fire. Manager's report is next. Mr. Duker.
Yep. A couple items here. Manager's report. EPA complex auction update. Public may be aware the EPA complex just down the road from us here is currently under auction through the GSA. It's kind of the real estate arm of the federal government. They opened the bids at $200,000. It's currently sitting at $635,000. So we don't know who the bidder. We know a few of the bidders locally here, but we don't know all the bidders that have registered for that. And unfortunately, we will not know until that bidding process closes. The GSA said they'll make us aware of who the winning bid is. My understanding is they basically have, I think, a very short time period, 3 or 4 days, to deliver a 10% deposit, and then there's a time window to close out the rest of the financial obligations. So we should know a little more info here soon. I think I can say for myself that dollar amount has been a little surprising, but hopefully it will bring us maybe some good investment into the area, but too soon to tell.
Thanks, Mike.
Land Conservancy Agreement. I believe in your packet I included a older agreement between the Grosio Land Conservancy and the Fish and Wildlife. This is basically a joint agreement for the nature area there off of East River Road. I just wanted to get it in front of the commission, give it to you guys. If you notice, it has expired. It had a term on it. So I'm going to be meeting in the coming weeks with the Land Conservancy and Fish and Wildlife to update that and kind of review, and I'll probably put it through our legal. But just wanted to make you aware, next meeting, Mr. Kantz with the Land Conservancy probably should be back to maybe present to us on a couple of items. Moving on to Pirates Cove update. Stop me anyway along the way if anyone has questions. Pirates Cove update. The tenant has been held up with Wayne County permits, as are a lot of projects, even some of our own. It looks like those are finally coming through, soil erosion permits and a few things from the township they were waiting for. My understanding is the barge bringing over the heavy equipment to start moving some earth around on the site is going to happen this week. So I think we'll see some groundbreaking and activity start here before wintertime and kind of ramp up. I'm not sure whether we're going to see buildings or anything like that before winter, but we may see some foundation work and that type of stuff. Last item here, is still something I need to talk about with the Airport Advisory Committee, but I think I have a pretty good game plan. MDOT Aeronautics has come to us. There's a letter included in your packet. Let me get it here. There's several types of approaches into the airport, and there's like a Part 77 and another one, and there's controlling trees that are in some of these. Now there's one that's critical, and then there's a secondary approach that is kind of less critical, but the state still wants to see progress towards clearing obstructions in that. So the one we're looking at here is a threshold sighting surface. There's like a state primary surface and then the threshold sighting surface. The 3 dots on the diagram that I presented you guys, and I can put this up there if we want while we have the Elmo running. Give me 1 second here. Trees are always a challenging word for an airport to talk about, but these ones are should be relatively easy and low impact, and just want to make the commission aware of it. MDOT, again, it's kind of a working thing where these trees have been in the threshold approach for several years, and they are basically kind of leaning on us to make some forward progress on clearing obstructions in that. To the point where they said, hey, you have a grant project coming up this year. We'd like to see these 3 done before we give you the grant money that you're allocated. So we're only focusing on these 3 trees here. And the good news is they're pretty much into our runway approach from like 2 to 10 feet. So breaking them down, this one is on our property. Very easy solution. We're just going to get a contractor out and trim that. This one is on a vacant lot. And we know the property owner, so we're going to have a discussion with them pretty soon. And that one really only needs to get trimmed. I think it was 6 feet. This one is probably, I would say, the most difficult one. It is basically right at like a fence line in a private property owner's backyard. There is a DT line that runs right in there, and I do believe it's in the easement. We're going to just have a conversation, try to work with the property owner, see what we can do there. And then it also may be in the DTE easement where they need to take care of it as their responsibility because their proximity to the airport. So a couple different angles we're working with those and trying to move forward to make it the least impact possible and work with the property owner. So just want to make the commission aware that's going to be coming down the road probably in the next few weeks. So I'll keep you guys updated as that kind of stuff progresses. But again, pretty low impact. It's nothing like prior tree issues that the airport had. And again, it's only, like I said, 2 to 10 feet at the worst. So we'll have options whether we want to top these trees and trim them up a little bit or if we want to drop them. The one that's on our property will likely just drop and remove that tree.
What's the time frame that you have to have this done by?
The tree that's on our property, we told them sometime September, October, and then basically my proposal that I gave to them, I believe that's in your packet, said we would have discussions with the property owners by, I think it was end of August or mid-September, an update with a further schedule. So it doesn't commit us to having a resolution for those 2, but they want to see forward progress.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike? All right. Next, we'll move on to the action items. We have 2. The first one is approval of a Boy Scout project based upon the recommendation of the airport manager. The Airport Commerce Commission hereby approves Seth Perko in coordination with Grosio Land Conservancy to lead the construction and installation of a new observation deck on the airport nature area.
Motion, and then you can hear it, or if you want
Yeah.
to hear it first, however you guys want to do it.
I can make a motion.
Support.
All right, you got it.
I got it.
Porcelana
All right,
and
Seth, go
Flowers.
ahead, buddy.
Okay, so I am making, like, as is in your packet, an observation deck at the Airport Wildlife Refuge. It's gonna be 8 by 12 feet. Let me pull up the picture. It's just behind the fenced area, so when you pull in, it's just, that gate that's there. It's gonna be, I think I need to fundraise $1,500 for it. Hopefully should be done by end of, latest, mid-October. Here's the picture of the location. So, as you can see, we're going to be building up right to that ledge there. It's going to be overlooking that creek. So it's going to need a fence because it is more than 18-inch drop. But other than that, it's just one of the standard observation decks already planned, I'm pretty sure, throughout the Airport Wildlife Refuge. Building plans for that already went to Man's Lumber, got that done. It's, like I said, it's just $1,500, some compacted gravel that we're going to be moving in.
Abstain.
Just noting that he has to abstain from the voting.
Oh, yeah. But like I said, just some compacted gravel we're going to move in, put everything down. They're looking at roughly 150 man hours for the overall project. And, yeah, I mean, I'm working on fundraising right now, getting this done, and going to start construction as soon as possible. And just, any questions you need. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Porcerelli.
She asked for questions. When you said in the beginning, I just want to make sure when you said it needs a fence, are you talking about a railing? Or you got
Yeah, I need a railing. As you can see, we already have the design for that. It's just a basic railing that's going to be going over about half of it, just from there
Right,
to there, yeah.
Above 18 on the deck,
Yeah,
you gotta have okay.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
we didn't have to put a fence.
yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to say
No,
fence
that's
there.
okay. No, you're good,
I don't have any questions. Anybody? Looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Be a nice addition back there.
Definitely hoping to see that area behind the fence look better.
Great.
Better then?
That's it.
Yep. For I'll put
you,
it out for the
Seth.
public for fundraiser stuff. Who do we contact or reach out to for that?
As far as fundraising is going, I'm just going out to, I guess, in person at Kroger, and then, like I said, the Gross Sale Now, GoFundMe on that.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, I already have it approved by the Mohican Council and everything. So
Okay. Or if anybody else, I guess, wants to contact you, they can get
Oh,
a hold
yeah.
of me, and I have your
Definitely.
contact info, so we can share that.
or any other funds would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll help you out a little, Seth. Thank you. All right, next action item is, whoop. Go ahead. I think we did, didn't we?
I have Porcerelli and Filarski supported, but I don't think we did an overall
I'm
vote.
sorry. Can I,
Yep.
quick vote? I'm going
Yep.
to abstain.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we note Mr. Mans abstains.
Thank you. All right. Next action item is a recommendation and approval of the asphalt quote. Based upon the recommendation of the airport manager, the airport commission hereby recommends to the Township Board of Trustees that they extend the existing contract with Al Asphalt to include 3 budgeted airport projects totaling $78,792 for asphalt paving for the Island Athletic Parking Lot, Hangar 2 entrance, and removal of the abandoned section of Saratoga Road in the Commerce Park, subject to final review by the township engineer and township attorney. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Support?
Support.
You make a couple comments. I got to see how this is going to work with the township board. They had a meeting previously, and I may have to work with Mr. Porcerelli on this, but we were worried we weren't going to be able to do any of our asphalt paving projects that we had budgeted this year, just with the bridge closure and inflation and a lot of other factors affecting that. The DPW department was unsure if they were going to be doing a few paving projects on the island as well. They're going to be with some of the water main projects they have going on in a few other areas. So what we're looking to do is, the significant cost here is bringing all this equipment on the island. The milling machine, the pavers, all that stuff from Al's is already going to be here. The bike path has extended the contract from that, and the rates are comparable. We basically, in the notes there, we budgeted $80,500 to do these 3 projects. The bid came in at $78,000. So my recommendation is that we move forward with that. I think if we had to pay another contractor, we're going to go out for bids, it'd be significantly higher. We already know that DPW got, they bid this project out, and Al's was the winner. So all we're looking to do is tap into the resources that are already on the island and meet within our budget. To do that, I will have to see how that's going to go with the township board. Their next meeting's in September. These guys, I think, are going to be paving by the end of August. So we need to look at how the board would like to handle that. But I wanted to get it approved here by the commission at least, so I can get it to them and discuss.
Other questions from the board? Comments?
I can review the 3 projects. I can go over real quick. The first one was $19,800. That is to redo the entrance at Hangar 2 driveway. And we were looking at integrating a little more of our landscaping master plan with that, but there's a lot of county permits involved to do that right now. So we're looking at maybe just milling and filling the existing apron that really needs to get done. There's some pretty big potholes, but the geometry is just kind of weird. We'll likely leave that and maybe come back at a later date and do what we want to do when we have time to do the permits. The second bigger one of all those is the tennis center parking lot. This is for basically the main lot. We're not going to do the road that extends to the east from the tennis center. We're just going to do the main lot there. And that's to mill down basically 4 inches and do 2 2-inch lifts on top to go over that. They had a little bit of a cheaper option, but when the engineer reviewed it, it was a very sandy mix, and we were worried about the longevity of that holding up. And then the third one is really just a road that we've capped, but it needs to come out. It's probably one of the few roads in the Commerce Park that didn't get redone in 2007 when we did all the concrete paving. And that's from Meridian into the Commerce Park, basically into where our new units are. There's a road there that has a lot of chuck holes in it down through the base layer in some spots, and is probably, I think, at least 30 years old. So we're looking at just milling that in. There will be a little additional expense to have a contractor come in the back end and put a little bit of fill in there and seed it to do that. But basically we'll remove that road up into the first driveway of our new units in Building 63. So those are the 3 projects that are included in that price.
At the tennis center, you're not going to go east, but you are going to bring it to Grow, or just about, or to Meridian?
Correct, yep. There's kind of a section there that the EPA repaved. It would bring it basically to that. Yep.
Gotcha.
We didn't see a reason to resurface what was already done a few years ago. Just getting really all the bad stuff out from the EPA fence all the way to the back lot where the road goes out.
Will they be extending the parking lot at all, or same dimensions?
We may look at bringing it a tad closer to the building so you can park a car or 2 along there. We explored that with them. The engineer kind of needed to look at the drainage a little bit more. We'll kind of make that determination, I think, if this gets approved when it gets there. The cost difference was pretty minimal.
Any other questions for Mike? All right. How about a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is subcommittee report, the AAC.
I just threw that on there. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to attend or not. I know we're due for a meeting this month, so we'll review the tree item on there, and we're going to discuss some FBO ideas and a few other things. But I don't know if Daryl, if you have any other update than that. Just figure I'd put something on there.
I haven't heard of
Okay.
any.
Okay. Next on the agenda is discussion items. Anything? Discuss?
Can I bring something up?
Absolutely.
I wanted to report something to you gentlemen. Mike and I talked about this earlier, and I don't know if you saw the RAB issue at the board meeting, but I got a email, and it stated that, and I want to say I appreciate everyone here supporting that. We had a lot of people that really wanted to know what was going on here, and there was 80 of them, 80 or 81. I'm not quite sure the exact number, that were interested in joining this group. And all this group was, as you know, was a conduit of information. I don't mean to laugh, but the email said there was only 14 that were interested, and when the gentleman just called me last week, because I've been following up, stated there's only 6 interested out of 80.
Mask.
I said, I've got 15 people that never got a call or never got an email. So the gentleman said, well, you have 2 years. You can reapply in 2 years, but we're coming here, or here.
Correct.
Where are they coming?
Yeah, they'll be present at the board meeting or in this boardroom in September, right?
They're coming here, September 16th or something?
I don't recall. Yeah.
I believe it's the 16th. He said, we can talk it over there, but you have 2 years. And I said, man, I couldn't believe it. But thank you, gentlemen, for supporting it. They turned it down. They wouldn't tell me. I had questions for them of how can 80 people be interested and only 6 of them state that they would do something in it. And he said, only 6 of them. I emailed out 80. I went, okay, I believe you. So, again, thank you, and it looks like we're done. There is no appeal process. He said, you can appeal in 2 years, they told me. And I said, okay, thank you, and we'll talk in September. Also, the fields right here, I've been trying to get tested because it's right next to AOC 25, which is the lead contamination. Soccer fields and I call them practice, I don't know if they play games here, but the practice football. And for 2 years now, I've been trying to get them tested for lead. And they finally got a company on August 6th. And they didn't tell me the name of the company, but they should be doing it fairly soon. So at least we'll get the fields tested for the kids. I wanted to update you on that too.
Good.
Mr. Porcelli, I actually got a question on that. Do they test for PFAS?
Well, this test
No.
will be, they tell me they're going to do it for numerous things. They didn't say what though. I can't be certain that that's one of them.
I can comment that generally, I have never seen the Army Corps test for PFAS here, but the firefighting foams and things that were used here during the Navy
That's
days
my
were
concern.
before PFAS was invented. So not to say we don't have other chemicals, but PFAS was invented after the Navy vacated the base. So never,
Okay.
as far as my knowledge goes, there's never been a PFAS use on the airport. Obviously, that's a very hot topic right now.
The foam was
MBQ
my
and-
concern, but
Yep.
okay.
Yep, they did do some firefighting exercises, but again, the foams were different chemicals than a PFAS. Not to say that those were good either, but yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do here. So
Cool.
thank
Great.
you again for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Porcelli. Next on the agenda is the chairman's report. Oh, yes, you may. Go ahead, Mr. Filarski.
Last meeting, we discussed Island Athletics wanting to use the $7,000 towards painting.
Yep.
And
Requested if there'd be more money available. I was just wondering if, based on, our decision to allow them to use that.
are they going to go ahead with the painting project?
I haven't gotten anything official in writing, but the initial comments I had back were no. They were looking, I think, for us to probably fund the whole project using that remaining amount. I think they didn't have the capital to be willing to match whatever the $7,000 that was left.
Okay.
So at this time, I would say it's likely no. I haven't gotten an official statement from them or anything like that, but that was kind of the initial reaction. Yep.
Thanks, guys. Anything else? Again, next on the agenda is the chairman's report. I am not the chairman. I do not have a report. Next is public comment. Quiet
Everyone.
night. No public comment. Next on the agenda is adjourn. Can I get a motion?
And 6:23.
6:23. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.